You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Today's podcast episode, we are going to keep it rocking and rolling through the month of December, keeping the momentum going as we go into the holiday season. And if there's the dog days of summer, maybe it's the snow dog sled days of winter, right? One of those deals. Well, that was good, right? Terrible. All right, me too. All right, so that being said, I wanted to talk about two quick things that are on my mind. One is failing. And then number two, a little debrief from the last 48 hours, hanging with Mark Bradley, everybody in Novi, Michigan, and the Novi, Michigan Mastermind that was hosted by Mark. It was a phenomenal time. So those are the two things I want to talk about for a couple minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes on each topic, and then we'll kind of keep it light and maybe a little bit more short and sweet on today's show. First off, before we go too far down the pike, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys that joined the live stream the other day on YouTube, joined the live stream on Instagram, supported during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, the holiday weekend. Thank you to all of you guys that used our codes, bought whatever, for whoever, during the holiday season. Just genuinely thank you. Thank you for the support. Super appreciate you guys shopping with us and supporting our small businesses, using our code. A lot of you guys have been signing up with LMN and all that fun stuff with Black Friday deals. And a lot of people are using our code at the masterminds. Like, thank you. Like, we earn a commission and a kickback for a lot of this stuff. And candidly, like, that's what funds the podcast and a lot of what we do to keep bringing you guys all this great info, the guest interviews, the content on YouTube, and so much more. So I just want to say thank you. Like, for real. Thank you so much for supporting what we do. That being said, that's an awesome quick little note. Number two, we had back-to-back trip salt runs, triple salt runs. It was awesome. We got our legs underneath us for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll talk more about that in a quick second. But that was really, really cool to get our first couple of salt runs in. We did our first end of month with LMN for snow services. Got about 75, 80% completed on my own. Ran into a couple of issues. And Steven, one of their great growth accelerator guys at LMN, was at the Novi Mastermind, and I was able to link up with Steven about 4 or 5 times during the little quick breaks and at lunch and in the evening. He was helping me fix my account on a couple different things. Steven's phenomenal. They have these growth accelerators. They're basically the one-on-one mentors or the white glove onboarding experience kind of guys with LMN. So I was able to work through a couple of end of month things with fixing our account on some different settings, and some things were set up, and was able to invoice for snow. So that was really cool. Like, we're learning. There's a lot going on here as we continue to grow our company, deploy LMN, get into salting, did our first couple of salt runs, and so much more, right? So there's like a lot of things going on this week. Well, first off, just a little bit more of a debrief on the mastermind, and then we'll get into failing. And the reason I want to talk about failing is a little bit of criticism, a little bit of critiquing, and I want to talk about the difference between criticism and constructive criticism for just a couple of minutes. And probably have a lot to say, and hopefully I don't offend anybody, but fired up. Wanted to just talk about the Element Mastermind, though. Last 48 hours. Got to see and hang out with, 150 to 200 people for sure at the Novi, Detroit, Michigan Mastermind. What an amazing time. Like, first off, big fish, okay? Teddy's Lawn and Landscape was there in Michigan. They're a big outfit, like 80, 90 employees, 80 to 100 trucks going out. Atlas was out there, same thing, $7, $8, $9, $10 million company. Sam Gamble, you guys know, he's been on the show. He's got the Culture Proof podcast now. He's doing coaching. He's been through the circuit doing public speaking. He was at LEL. Just an awesome, awesome guy. He was there. Troy Clogg was there. Bunch of guys from Canada were there. Shout out to Canada, man. I'm getting to know you guys more and more every single show. It is awesome. I've never seen so many folks from Canada, part of like all of this. I don't know. Either I'm like going all in with LMN and like their Canadian crowd, or I'm just noticing a lot of Canadians joining into like all of what we're doing. It's just really, really cool. I mean, all you guys in Canada, I freaking love you guys. You guys are all like the kindest, nicest people, and always so supportive and encouraging, and very, very helpful. I just got to say, hey, shout out to Canada, I guess, in today's podcast. The whole country of Canada. Shout out to all of Canada, okay? But it was really, really cool. Everybody was there, was super awesome. And Mark Bradley absolutely killed it. Absolutely crushed it. Okay. In fact, I had probably no less than a half dozen to 10 people. Nick with Paxton Grounds, Brian and Jake Bringa, Daryl Prentice with Daryl, I forget where you're at, but Daryl, everybody that came up to me towards the tail end and said, "Thank you for selling us to get here. This was absolutely an amazing experience. Like, I cannot believe what my life or my thought process would be without coming to this event." Now, mind you, I have no skin in the game. I don't make a buck off of this thing. I'm just telling you straight up. But I'm like, the content is that good. Okay, so if these pop up in January in your neck of the woods, or you can fly into maybe where a couple of these might be popping up in January, and you can fly into a couple of the different cities for a couple $100, you know, some of the main like in and out type of airports, Chicago, Atlanta, Denver, I don't know, wherever it's going to be. I think there might be a couple more coming down the pike. If you have the opportunity to make it there, I highly, highly encourage you to do so. The last one is this week, Thursday, Friday in Boston. So if you're in the greater Boston area, I don't know New England states that well. I do apologize. But if you're within 4 or 6 hours, it's a driving distance, bro. You can make it there, and you absolutely should. Okay. And by the way, there's scheduled to have like another 150 to 200 people at Boston. So that is going to be a barn burner. Okay. The takeaways were phenomenal. The roadmap that Mark laid out was fantastic. The stories were so relatable. The encouraging atmosphere, the hallway seminar conversations with all your buddies and peers and everything, and just making friends and building community. Like, it was awesome. Okay. Like, you guys, I'm just encouraging you, plug in to these industry events. The ones that I talk about, at least, I won't say they're all great, but I will say the ones that I'm promoting, if I'm going and I'm learning, that's what I'm going to be talking about and sharing. And that's where I encourage other folks to check out too. But it was a great time. So this is like the last like 5 days. It's a lot. Like, I have not slept in about 4 or 5 days, from Black Friday, Cyber Monday, monitoring sales, 3 salt runs on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gearing up for the Mastermind Monday, Tuesday. Adam and I got to share for about 20 minutes about Branded Bull and everything that they've got going on, and talking to, you know, a group of 200 folks about marketing, branding, SEO. It was just a fantastic 20 minutes, just giving away the sauce, not trying to make a pitch on anything. If anybody needs help, we always say, then give us a shout with Branded Bull. But at the same point, we're just trying to pour back into the event, talking about branding. And that was a fantastic time. And then, of course, Mark did great. The McFarland Stanford guys, that peer group, those guys were there. And so much more. Caleb Allman and Brittany came on up. Jeremiah Jennings came up. Ken Deemer from Local Roots. And again, another 50 to 100, what I consider all VIPs, just great people, just great guys. It was a fantastic time. So that's like the last 4 or 5 days in my life. And outside of that, putting together about 30 pieces of furniture for a couple friends that stayed over at the house. Lucas Blumley got to come over to the house, for crying out loud. That was awesome. And I've been putting together like 100 pieces of furniture to host people. It's been great. My fingers are literally raw and numb. My fingerprints are literally ripped off of my right hand, my finger and my thumb, from Allen key wrenches. I went to move my gun safe the other day, and the fingerprint scanner literally wouldn't read my finger because I don't have my fingerprint anymore. And Brittany Allman said, yep, that was exactly me putting furniture together at our shop when we moved into their new facility 2 or 3 years ago, whatever it was now. She goes, oh, I can totally, she's like, don't worry, it'll come back in a week or two. And I'm like, that's great. I have soft hands. That's fantastic. So anyway, a lot of words just to say, what a wild couple of days. Super grateful, super thankful about everything that's going on. I mean, what an amazing time of year. I hope you guys are feeling the love. I hope you guys are feeling encouraged. I hope you guys are, getting some snow, getting some salt runs in maybe. I'm sure some of you guys admittedly probably are twiddling your thumbs, waiting for, the white gold to fly. Some of you guys are probably waiting to do leaf cleanup still. I know we've got about $6,000 left on the books. Was talking to Sam Gamble and hearing their approach about how they, mobilize, 80 to 100 folks and how they transition the season. It was really cool getting to have a 20-minute conversation in the hallway with him. We still have about $6,000 left on the table of revenue. Nothing crazy, probably about 10, 15% of our leaf cleanup route left to go. I'm hoping we get that in the 10-day. The weather's trending up. We might be able to get that in, which would be phenomenal to stack onto the best November and December that we've ever had with snow. So absolutely, yes, 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 more. And we'll take it all the way to the bank. Okay. So a lot of great things going on. Very pumped up, very excited you guys can talk about or hear my voice. But one thing that I wanted to just transition for a couple minutes here was talking about failing publicly and trying something new and trying something for the first time and just honestly just a little frustrated, like not to the core audience, not to all of you guys that are regular listeners and regular supporters of the show and you guys that listen to, the podcast that comes out every, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's the casual observer, the peanut gallery, the armchair quarterbacks. I wanted to just shine a light on some observations I have with some of the content that we did put out over the weekend. And so I got a couple things to share, nothing crazy, nothing super salacious or juicy, but I, have some perspective, have some thoughts that I want to share about trying, failing, and adjusting. And it was all related to, of course, salting. So let's do this really quick. I do want to pivot for just a quick second. We are going to transition to that topic and that thought for just a hot second, but wanted to just take a quick minute. We're going to hear from today's show sponsors and announcements, and we're going to come right on back.
With the shorter days upon us and winter rapidly approaching, now is the best time to prepare your business for the busy snow season. Before you rush out the door to plow the first ounce of white gold, ensure a safe and successful evening on your sites with adequate site marking from Plowright. Plowright offers high-quality marking stakes that are flexible enough to spring back up through the toughest of conditions winter has to offer. Mark out your property lines, curbs, trip edge areas, and more with the best marking stakes in the industry. Plowright marking stakes come in all lengths and colors to give you the best choice in marking stakes for your sites. Lay up to 350 stakes per hour with the integrated staking tool and quiver kit for the ultimate starter combo, and refill with additional stakes as you see fit. Check out everything that Plowright has to offer and more at plow-right.com. Link is in the description. And don't forget, Brian's 10 saves 10% off everything site-wide. Thanks for your support and have a safe, profitable snow season.
All right, guys, let's hop right back into it here. Super appreciate all the show sponsors, all the announcements, and everything that is going on in the world of Brands Law Maintenance on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Fully Unfiltered, Link, and so much more. Thank you. Thank you guys for always supporting who we are and what we're doing and so much more. Want to talk about just a couple of minutes here on a topic that has been on my mind for a long time, and it's not anything that we haven't visited before, but I want to frame it into a very relatable situation that perhaps could just glean some value, perhaps glean some perspective, and maybe give you guys some encouragement as you traverse the wild, wild west in your business and your life of doing new things. Over the weekend, we got into salting, right? So we're taking all of our salt business in-house. We're self-performing it. Over the last couple of years, really the last 6 or 7 years, because 2017, I got into commercial snow plowing and bought my first plow truck, my first snow plow, and we started picking up our first couple of commercial clients. Since then, the business is growing. Business is going good. Like, we are up 30+% in our seasonal monthly contracts, plus our end of month billing, just for 3 salt runs. Phenomenal growth. Phenomenal growth. On a rolling 12 month, we'd be up about $50,000 to $80,000. Okay. And that's just where things are trending right now. Give me a decent winter, we're going to be up. Give me a great winter, up. Okay. Brian's Law Maintenance is growing. We're fired up. For real. That being said, when you do something new for the first time, how likely are you to bat 1,000? How likely are you to ace the first time you do something? How likely are you to hit a home run the first time you have an at-bat? How likely are you the first time you do anything to be great at it? Very unlikely. How did we do with our first salt runs over the weekend? Admittedly, we batted a home run. We did fan-freaking-tastic. I am so proud of Brian's Law Maintenance, so proud of the guys, and honestly, so proud of myself. Now, here's the reality. That salt run that we did over the weekend, we brought salt in-house. It was the easiest 50 to 100 grand worth of revenue that we could bring in-house, self-perform. The reason we started doing our own salt, 2 things. The guys want to make more money. We want to do 401ks. We want to get health insurance. We want to buy more equipment. We want to grow the company. We want to be more profitable. We want to raise wages. And the simplest way to do it is to grow revenue. Well, number one. Number two, to grow revenue and to be highly profitable at a service. Well, Salton's like salt. There's 50 to 100 grand of work there, and we can be exceedingly profitable by bringing that in-house. So let's do that. Let's start there. I've got 20 to 30,000 hours worth of pruning work. We've got 10, 20,000 hours worth of irrigation work, 10, 20, 30,000 hours worth of fertilizer work. Like, obviously, we can start bringing this all in-house. And right there is 600-700 grand, okay? So we bring it in-house. Now, we didn't just bring salting in-house. This was a very and work with me for a couple of quick minutes. I'm going to humble brag, and then let's back it down for a quick second. But you have to have some context, okay? So first thing we did was about 4 months ago, I said, 6 months ago, I said, we're bringing this in-house. Started convincing and selling the guys on the idea. Started painting the dream, painting the vision. They're buying in, they're ready to rock and roll, okay? That was awesome, okay? Really, really great, because my guys, very proud of them. They have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset, a growth mindset. And if you know, you know, because you were at Mark's seminar, the guys have a growth mindset. We're willing to try anything new, okay? An esprit de corps, an all for one. I'm with the guys are with me. We're going to grow. Well, that being said, we started the process of bringing salt in-house, not Friday morning at 6 a.m. during a salt run on Black Friday. We started the process of bringing salt in-house in June. Well, over the last couple of months, we've been talking about it, training, educating. I've watched every single salt video available on YouTube. If you type in how to salt a parking lot, commercial salting, Boss VBX 8000, Boss Salter, Western Salter, Hill Tip Salter, anything and everything, every single question I can. Every seminar I went to at Simon about VSI and liquid and brine, I have been devouring every single thing I can and learn about salting. Not only that, asking ChatGPT 5,000 questions, asking my friend Matt at Clippers, took him to lunch for 3 hours, talked nothing about salting. My friend Troy, my friend Mike Bedell. We spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money learning about salt. Also, paid my older brother about $500 to spend, 5, 10, 20 hours, who knows, who cares, taking every single snow log, salt log, and every invoice that we've ever had from my friend Bedell for the last 7.5 years and built out a salting matrix. I knew how much salt we used per event, how much salt we used per site, how much salt we used per month, how much salt we used in total for the year, and I have 7 years of salt logs on that. I have 7 years of every single thing in a massive price salting matrix, usage matrix, about how much salt we've used, who, what, when, where, why, and how. A lot of data. The decision to get into salting was absolutely no-brainer. Guys want to make more money. I finally have more bandwidth in my life because we're not building the barn or the house. I'm no longer living in a camper. We're hitting the afterburners. So this was just a natural progression, right? We're going to bring this stuff in-house. We're going to ready to rock and roll. We bought 50 tons of prepay at a local vendor. I just secured another 25 tons worth of pre-buy from another vendor. We are going all in. We're ready to rock and roll. 6 a.m., hits, and we're about to, go do our first salt run. And you know what? We're charged up. We're ready to go. You know why? Because 3 days before, or 4 days before, I think it was, Mike Bedell, one of my local friends, coaches, and mentors, one of my best buds, absolutely grateful and thankful for Mike Bedell. So many of you guys know him. The dude's the GOAT. He comes in and does a half-day salt training. Paid him, a good bag. I told him, make sure you invoice me for your time. I told him what the number is. I said, do you think that's fair? He said, you're generous. I said, bring it on in. Let's go. And we paid him for his time. And he spent a third day, half day with me and the guys, teaching us everything we could, hands-on, looking at the salters. We probably put 5, 10, 20, 30 hours of training into salting before we ever stepped foot on the ground to salt. Friday morning, 6 a.m., the flakes are flying. We go on out. We start the salt run. It's the Cowboys, right? We're going on out. We're riding the Wild Wild West. We're on the Oregon Trail. We know exactly what to do. We're executing the plan. Couple little questions and little snafus here, but really nothing big. We're going. We're rocking and rolling. We knock out all of our salting, all of our salt runs, and we freaking aced it. It was awesome. It was awesome. We did a good job. Well, honestly, I was impressed. I'm like, that was it? Am I forgetting something? Did we forget somebody? Did we not do it right? Call it beginner's luck. Call it preparation. Call it whatever it is. We did a good job. Literally probably the first time in our life, we did a good job on the very first time we tried something. Okay. Absolutely awesome. Humble brag. Okay. Now, that being said, we were slated for a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch snow. We ended up getting about an inch and a half, and it was right there at the trigger to possibly do a scrape on 1 or 2 sites. The exact 2 sites that I filmed on YouTube. Now, we did 10 or 11 or 12, I think it was, salting sites. The two that I filmed are the ones that got hammered the most with about 1.5 inches of the snow. Admittedly, right there at the trigger. We deployed 20 minutes out from my house. We did not hook up the plows. It was a salt run, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, no big deal. It overperformed in a literal 1/8 of a mile radius, exactly where my route is, on 2 of the sites that I actually filmed to get some content for you guys for YouTube to watch. And on those exact 2 sites, we absolutely could have scraped first, but we turned up the salter, cranked that crap out to a 5.7, salt bomb the snot out of that because I know you can do that. Put an extra $30, $50, $80, $100 worth of salt down. Nuke those sites. They were absolutely down the wet pavement 4 hours later, if not sooner. Didn't even have to go out for a reapply. The next morning, we did get another 0.1, 0.25, and we did another salt run, but no big deal. And so that being said, how do you think we did? Well, I just told you, we did great. Everything worked out awesome. Published the video on YouTube. 50 comments. I don't know. Let's say 5,000 views and 50 comments in the first, I don't know, half a day, couple of hours. Awesome. 50 comments, 40 of them, and I love everybody, but 40 of them are basically, I'd say half of them, let's just be a little bit more generous here. Half of them are roasting. The other half are, dude, I'm proud of you. That's awesome. That's awesome. Who cares? Like, I'm not saying like YouTube is like TikTok. TikTok's a cesspool of garbage. Like I wouldn't even be on TikTok if it wasn't for companies that want to sponsor content. Just telling you straight up. Couldn't care less about being on TikTok. I interact and engage with nobody. I turned everything off on TikTok. Couldn't care less. It's there to pump views and grow the brand. I couldn't care less about engaging 1 ounce on TikTok. It's a garbage platform. Instagram, I've got all my buddies, almost all my best friends that I've made now are all through friends and contacts through either Facebook or i.e. mostly Instagram. Okay, so I love Instagram. I'm on Instagram all the time. That being said, half the comments are, well, I would have plowed first, and I would have scraped that first, and you guys don't know what you're doing, and all this other mess. And I'm thinking, like, dude, just the world, like, unloaded. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, we absolutely knocked it out of the park. Period. Every single thing you commented on in a negative connotation was actually all set. It was good. It was fine. We did a fantastic job. I don't have to justify a dang thing. But Dell said you did awesome. Matt Clippers calls me, dude, it sounds like you did awesome. Keith, one of my buddies from KT said, dude, you guys did awesome. Great job. They all called me. They all checked in on me. How'd it go? Awesome. They did fantastic. They're like, dude, great job. What a great day to start of your first salt run on Black Friday. Nothing really going on. Nothing really on the roads. Nobody really on the roads. Quiet, calm morning. And the guys and I are all fired up, ready to learn something new today. And we did a great job. But from the public square, half of the comments from both Instagram and YouTube, you would have thought that we dropped the ball, we sucked, we did terrible based on the fact that people were watching off of 2 sites that we did that had an excessive amount of snow that it overperformed on. But the reality, and I know this, and that's why I don't take any of this personal, is that I know that we actually did a great job. I know that we did a 10 out of 10. Absolutely, we ran the playbook. I asked Bedell, called him 3 or 4 different times that morning. Here's what we're doing. What do you think? He's like, yep, you're right. Here's what we're doing. What do you think? Bedell, based on what you taught me. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, that's what you guys did? Yes, sir. Awesome. Then you guys are fine. Here. Bump, set, spike. A, B, up, down, left, right, dude. We got the cheat codes. We're rocking and rolling. My point is, the excessive amount of just know-it-allness, the criticism, not the constructive criticism. Hey, man, you did a good job. In the future, I probably would have scraped that first, but I understand where you guys are coming from, but do a great job. No, it was, you don't know what you're doing. You're retarded. You guys suck. This, and this. I can't believe this is what you guys are doing. And I'm thinking to myself, like, obviously you don't have enough context to either A, understand what the hell is going on, or B, you absolutely have no idea what you're talking about. Which is pretty much the case for 99% of the freaking people out there that offer their opinions about almost anything in life. And I've talked about this before at conferences and on podcasts, and it's absolutely freaking wild. And here's my proposal. Here's my question. Here's the point of all this. If you're listening this far, here's the point. When is the last time you did something publicly for the first time and aced it? 99% chance you didn't. Nobody does, myself included. The very first time you tackle anything, anything, very likely the very first time you do it, you're not going to do great. How many people had any clue after I said 5 different times that we're doing this for the first time, we're bringing it in-house, we've got 20 hours of training, my guys are ready to go, this is our first one, we're learning. And the fact that we're humble and we're learning and we tried and we did a great job and got beginner's luck or just effective because of the training, we did great, humble brag, what is the likelihood that we would have did great the very first time? Low, even though we were completely trained up because we were ready for all hell to break loose. That's why I bought a second salter for $10,000 just in case, knowing that having 2 probably equals 1 for me and my guys because we are about as sharp as a marble sometimes together, if you know what I'm saying, right? But we did it. We did a great job. But the committee of opinions and the armchair quarterbacks, all the people sitting around watching YouTube, not doing a single thing. Well, Brian, don't you want more people watching? Brian, you're kind of like hating on people watching your channel. Yeah. Yes, I am. Because if you're just going to criticize what you're not doing or willing to do yourself, then your opinion has no merit. It has no value. Now, those are the casual observers. I'm not talking about the core audience, right? Hear me. But the amount of people that are like, well, I would have did this and I would have did that. No, you wouldn't because you weren't there. No, you weren't because you've never done it. No, you didn't because you don't know my conditions, my sites, my contracts, my approach, our approach, the best way to do it, or how we do it here. Right? And so you have to be firm in knowing who you are, what you're doing, and what you're trying to accomplish. But the fact of the matter is that I would never, ever imagine criticizing somebody the very first time they attempted to do something and almost essentially throw them under the bus and tell them, you guys suck. It wouldn't even be a thought in my mind. My first thought and encouragement would be, dude, great job, way to get at it, way to learn some things. Hey, dude, great job at bat, right? You guys are going to get better on the next one, right? Like, think about it. We did salt runs. We did 3 salt runs in 3 days. First one, hit it out of the park. Second one, not only the second salt run did we do twice as much, went twice as quick. We did it in basically the salt run in half the time, 2 times faster. We used half the amount of product, 1 less snow, 2 more effective, more efficient, right? We dialed in our settings on our salters. We know the difference between a 3.6. We know the difference now between a 2.8 widespread. We know the difference of how far the salt's going to roll on a wide open parking lot with just a dusting or a 0.1 inch or a trace to, 1.5 inch on a 5 auger with a 4, spread because it just kind of dumps out, but it's got to be thick enough to burn off all the excess snow because there's 1.25 inches of snow. I'm not a salt guru, but I'm just telling you guys, like, we do 3 salt runs. You think I'm the guru? No, but I'm just telling you, we've done enough training to cover the basics to know what the hell I'm talking about right here, right now. And the fact that we did that was phenomenal. First one, great. Second one, great. Third one, I didn't even tell the guys to go out with me. I said, I'm going to tag up the third ones because I just was feeling good. I was ready to rock and roll. I don't sleep much anyway. The guys have put in a bunch of hours this last couple of weeks. I said, you know what? One of my buddy actually texted me. One of my guys, Ryan, he texted me, said, hey, where do you need me tomorrow morning? I said, at home, in bed with your family, snuggling your kids. I said, that's what you need to be doing today. I got it. I'm going to go grab some content. I'm just going to go hang out. I'm feeling ornery. I'm ready to rock and roll. I don't need any help. It's Sunday. Nothing's open. We got this. I said, you need to spend time with your family. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Love it. He texted me at 5:30 in the morning. Ready to go. No, dude, I got this one. Don't even worry about it. We did it. We did a great job. But the fact of the matter is, even if we didn't do a good job, at least we're trying. Even if we didn't do a good job, at least we put ourselves out there. Even if we put down twice as much salt and it cost me money, I didn't even make money, or it cost me an extra 50, 100, 200 bucks in salt. Who cares? Even if I broke even and I didn't make any money, who cares? Even if it cost me 250 bucks to go on out and all of us cut our teeth in the learn, and we did $2,000 of salt work, and for some weird God forbid reason, we spent $2,250 to do it. I lost 250 bucks. Do you still think that that's a good deal long term to go lose a couple $100 to learn a couple things? Yes, and of course, yes. But the fact of the matter is that's the conversation that it's so hard now to even try in this world today to look like a fool, to try to get out of your comfort zone, to go do something new. And God forbid you fail. And God forbid you fail the first time publicly. Or God forbid you take an at-bat for the first time publicly. And God forbid you even hit a home run. And then people even have more things to say, like beginner's luck. What a wild world we're living in. And the fact that we took the time to go film it, to show everybody that if we can do it, you can do it. And then to have, 10, 20 bozos leave comments like, I would have scraped first. No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have. Based on the conditions, based on a coating to a quarter to a half inch, from a trace to a half inch on a salt run that everybody was good at for, and you would have left your plows back 20 minutes west to then go into your route 20 minutes east, to then realize that I could spend an extra $100, $150 on salt to go load up at my bulk supply salt supplier instead of backtracking to where my plows are to come back and scrape, to then lose another hour besides the 45 minutes of drive time, to then go have to salt anyway down to pavement, which would have cost me $35 to $110, depending on how much salt we were going to use. I instead just dropped 70 extra bucks worth of salt to save $300 in 2.5 extra hours. But I'm sure you knew all that. I'm sure you've ran all those freaking numbers. Oh, no, you haven't, and I have. And that's why our approach made more sense. And that's why I called and phoned a friend to 4 different dudes that all said, no, so you made the right choice. You did a great job. That's phenomenal. That's awesome. I can't even believe it. I wouldn't have even thought that. Because we just spent the last 6 months building every single contingency out to go do what we do. And I will humble brag and say, beginner's luck, also a lot of prep and a lot of training. When is the last time you tried to do something new and you gave yourself the opportunity to fail? There's a complete difference between criticism and constructive criticism, right? You don't learn from winning. You learn from losing. And I didn't lose with any of the salting yet. All we've done is won. But I've hired and talked to all of my friends who all they did a lot of initially because they had no help was lose, and lose broadly speaking for a long time with a lot of lessons learned that I bought that time through mentorship, through dinners, through steak, through paid training, because I respect them and their time and their experience. And $500 here or $1,000 here or $10,000 here is a joke when the ROI is 10x, because I can now take that 10 years of experience, bring it in-house to me and implement it into my business. The fact that people think that criticizing somebody trying something new is okay is absolutely what's wrong in this fucking country. You have to be able to fail. And God forbid somebody fails publicly. You should not be criticizing that individual. If that is you, you need to go find Jesus and you need to go fix your freaking soul and your mental state. You should be applauding somebody who's going to be out front and somebody who's going to try and learn something new. And I don't care if they're an 18-month-old toddler or whatever, learning to walk, or a 30-year-old that's looking to do something for their first time in athletics, academics, music, or business. You have to lose. You have to try. Does that make sense? Constructive criticism is one thing. Cynical criticism, that's a whole nother conversation. For real. If you're not fucking up, you're not trying. Like, you ever hear somebody, you talk to them and you hear, they're telling a story and you say something and they go, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. There's not a single thing I say to Troy Clark where he doesn't go, oh yeah. You know what oh yeah is? That's Latin for, I fucked that up before. For real. That is called time and money, probably a fight, probably lost an employee, probably lost something else. It's so wild to me that even though we batted 1,000, literally, I don't know what you could have done better based on the circumstances with how we did. I say that like as a humble brag. We're not perfect, but that was a phenomenal first couple of days. And then, God bless anybody, of course. I'm not getting down on any specific person or if anybody who did leave a negative comment. It wasn't even like that. It was like 80% great, 20%, a couple retards. But at the end of the day, who cares? We tried. What did you do? I got people commenting, you guys don't know what you're doing. I would have scraped that first. You guys getting the salt, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, do you know? Do you know? I know you think we're the YouTuber. I know you think that we have a little teeny tiny business. But do you know that my business does more business than your business does for snow and salt? Dude, like we're getting in the salt, but it's not like I'm just getting in the salt, bro. We're bringing about $100,000 worth of work in-house. But go ahead. Tell me about how awesome you are. The more you keep telling me about how awesome you are, how dumb I am, just makes me know. And with 100%, I absolutely know where you're at in a growth versus fixed mindset. It's not even funny. I already know where you're at financially. I know where you're at mentally. And I know you're going to be stuck and broke for a freaking long time. Versus my guys, we're humble. We learn. We try, fail, adjust. We own it. And we crushed it. And we have a growth mindset and we're ready to rock and roll. But God forbid that we try. God forbid we put ourselves out there. God forbid we learn something new. And I can't wait to mess up a whole bunch more stuff and do it publicly because twofold. One, it's going to give the haters something to comment about, and I love the engagement. And then number two, all the people that want to humbly learn with us are going to not only A, learn how to do it, but B, feel the encouragement that they're allowed to publicly fail or privately fail too and learn new freaking things in life. And God forbid you learn something new, you grow a skill set, you grow an income, and you're able to make not only your life better, but then you learn how to fish and you can teach other people how to freaking fish. Wow, what a novel concept. But God forbid the armchair quarterbacks of the world that want to comment, those that can't coach and those who can't coach, watch and criticize from the comfort of their own little 72-degree, 800 square foot, little tiny home with their little armchair quarterback, living the dream with their little TV dinner and accomplishing nothing. And again, the losers will be remembered for their losses. The winners will be remembered for their contributions, but the plain, silent, average majority will just be forgotten. God forbid I'm trying. I'd rather try and win and you remember me for my wins. I would rather try and lose and you remember me for trying and failing. But my gosh, at least one way or another, you will remember my name and you will remember that we did something. Instead of criticize from the YouTube little thumbs ticking away, hit publish, send that comment, got him. You do realize you're on YouTube because you have nothing else productive going on, right? Like that is the truth. Brian, you're going to lose half your audience. I don't care. If you think I care about subs or subscribers or views, you're listening to the wrong guy. Go watch somebody else mow tall grass. They care about that. I don't. I care about impact. And for all of you guys listening in that want to be business owners, dude, it's okay to try. It's okay to fail. It's okay to try and win. But try. Just freaking try. Just start doing. The sooner you want to get more successful, the sooner you will start failing. You want to double your success rate? Watson, IBM, he said, if you want to double your success rate, double your failure rate. It's not avoid failure to become successful. It's who can fail the most to become successful. The amount of dumb stuff that I have tried on all social media and all of Brian's Law Maintenance, I know 100% how to grow both businesses. Because I'm so great at knowing what works? No. Because I'm so great at knowing what doesn't work. Because I have failed. Michael Jordan, I have failed thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And that is why I'm successful. When did the culture change from clapping and applauding at someone who's trying? When did the applause and the criticism get louder than the applause of trying to encourage somebody to do more and become better? It breaks my heart. And we did a good job. The irony is we did a good job. And I know we did a good job. And call it humility, call it a humble brag. Nothing narcissistic here. I'm just being a butthead for some emphasis. But we did a great job. And I got people telling me we didn't. We got room for improvement. We all do. And by the second and third salt run, we had it smoked. We had it aced. We're good to go. Well, for the love of God, we were trying. We were trying. Get around people that will encourage you. Get around people that will tell you, hey, man, it's okay if you fail. You're allowed to fail. But don't let failure be final. Failure is not fatal unless it's final. Right? Get around people that are going to encourage you to be better. Know better, do better. My gosh. I called all my buddies. I called one of my buddies. Hey, man, you coming out tonight for a salt run? No, I already tagged up. Okay, cool. It's kind of really snowing coming down here. You might want to go plow. No, man, we're good. Call back 2 hours later. What the hell's going on out there? Yeah, dude, this thing's overperforming. 99% of people got caught with their pants down, including my salt supplier. We were the only ones up, the only ones rocking and rolling. The whole team's ready to rock and roll. The whole team's going. Took me 10 seconds to source more salt. We were rock and roll. We were the only ones out there. We were so out front, it's not even funny. And then somebody's going to tell me, you don't know what you're doing. You guys suck. I would have scraped that parking lot. No, you wouldn't. You'd be at home sucking your thumb, laying down like a little baby because you're not willing to go all in like I am, like a hawk watching the first time that we go out and do something, because it does matter that much to me that we do a good freaking job for our customers. That's the difference. Fired up. Fired up. All right. You don't like the show? Top right corner, hit unsubscribe, hit unfollow, and never follow again. For all of you guys that love us, I love you, and I will see you on the next one.
With the shorter days upon us and winter rapidly approaching, now is the best time to prepare your business for the busy snow season. Before you rush out the door to plow the first ounce of white gold, ensure a safe and successful evening on your sites with adequate site marking from Plowright. Plowright offers high-quality marking stakes that are flexible enough to spring back up through the toughest of conditions winter has to offer. Mark out your property lines, curbs, trip edge areas, and more with the best marking stakes in the industry. Plowright marking stakes come in all lengths and colors to give you the best choice in marking stakes for your sites. Lay up to 350 stakes per hour with the integrated staking tool and quiver kit for the ultimate starter combo, and refill with additional stakes as you see fit. Check out everything that Plowright has to offer and more at plow-right.com. Link is in the description. And don't forget, Brian's 10 saves 10% off everything site-wide. Thanks for your support, and have a safe, profitable snow season. Before you turn off the podcast, there are two things that we believe you will be highly interested in. First, if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you'll want to subscribe to our free email newsletter. It shows up in your inbox 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. The second thing is we have just launched Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Now you can be a part of an exclusive community that links you to those who can help you grow in your lawn care business. Joining Lawntrepreneur Link will give you the tools that you need to stay accountable, get real-time expert advice, and find belonging in a community of folks who are passionate about the lawn care industry just like you. Visit LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com to learn how Link membership gives you unique access to monthly hangouts, bidding hour calls, coaching calls, expert lessons, and more. Stay ahead of the curve and level up your business with a membership to the Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Find an easy-to-use link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.